UFC 304, Edwards versus Muhammad 2, also Blaydes versus Aspinall 2. It's the fight card of rematches topping up the card. And I like to say this is a really good main card. Some people might be saying, oh, Belal's going to stink it up in the main event. Oh, Mokaev is going to grapple and wrestle too much and make it a boring fight. Everyone on this main card has a possibility to make their fight of the night. Now, the Tom Aspinall Curtis Blaydes one, 99% probably performance of the night type of a fight. But if nobody gets finished in that type of a heavyweight co-main event, that could very well be a really good one. I do love the fact that they mixed in a lot of guys from a lot of different weight classes in this main card. They got flyweight, they got lightweight, featherweight, heavyweight, and welterweight on this main card. You got up-and-comers on this main card. You got titles on the line. You have Arnold and Giga looking to bounce back, and Mokaev looking to come back after a pretty embarrassing decision win against Alex Perez. I'm a fan of UFC 304, and I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, it's way too late. Poor English fans. I'm not an English person. I'm not. I'm not from the UK. And I'm going to be watching this with my eyes wide open because it's not even midnight yet, which is just a luxury I guess I would have. So I do feel bad for the English fans that they got to watch their own people at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of sad. And for Leon and Aspinall and all them to actually have to fight at that time kind of sucks, but it's a good card. Let's give our main card prediction. You thought I was going to say full card prediction. No, because there's a few guys on here like Kiefer Crosby I have not done any tape study on. Robert Berksek, I haven't really done much on him. Oban Elliott as well. There's a few guys in the prelims I just haven't done enough tape study on to really do a full card prediction just yet. So we're going to start it off with the first fight on this main card. Bobby Green and Paddy the Baddie Pimblett. You might be saying, why is this man called the Baddie? I don't know. He's not that bad of a guy. He's coming off 2 decision wins. How bad of a guy could he be? Well, he did start his career off with 3 finishes in a row. Jordan Levitt, Rodrigo Vargas, and Luigi Vendramini. But we're going to have to say this right now. He got rocked pretty badly against Luigi Vendramini, who's not in the UFC anymore, who is currently, trying to get fights on the regional scene. That guy almost knocked out Paddy Pimblett. Rodrigo Vargas also hurt and I believe dropped Paddy Pimblett. So he's been known for kind of leaving that chin up in the air, getting caught, and then bouncing back. Jordan Levitt, obviously Jordan's not going to drop you, so there was no issue there. Then came the robbery with Jared Gordon. A lot of people do like to say that was a robbery. I think it could have gone either way. But again, I haven't watched that fight in a while. And then he had the Tony Ferguson fight, which was like, I see where the UFC was trying to go with giving him an aging veteran like Tony to build up the name of Paddy, or for Tony to be like, boom, you beat Paddy Pimblett and you're back in the thing. Everyone is talking about Tony now, but I kind of think it backfired because he didn't finish Tony Ferguson at that stage of his MMA career, and well, it's Tony at that stage of his career, so not a lot of people are Paddy Pimblett fans anymore. There was that all the rage about everyone wanting to become a Paddy Pimblett fan and wear the wig and things like that. But that quickly wore off when he had the really close fight with Jared Gordon, said that was fight of the night, and then he couldn't even finish Tony Ferguson in this fight after that. And you might be wondering, what is my prediction? Bobby Green, Paddy Pimblett. Who in the world is going to win this fight? Paddy's younger. Paddy's a better grappler. Paddy's a better jiu-jitsu practitioner. If this fight hits the ground, Paddy's going to win. Is it going to hit the ground? I don't think so. Not as much as a lot of people might think. I know you're probably going to say, yeah, a few times it'll hit the ground. A few times it will. Paddy might get a takedown, get a little bit of control, but I believe Bobby Green, with his movement, with his hands low, catching Paddy as he's coming in, is going to make it really hard for Paddy to really time that entry, as he's going to get clipped on every single one of those entries he's going for. And once he does, I believe Bobby, with his movement, is already going to be close to that cage, able to get the underhooks and get off of a lot of the takedowns from Paddy Pimblett. Again, the last guy that was able to out-wrestle and take down Bobby and beat him there was Islam Makhachev. So, not a lot of people are able to do it to Bobby Green. Granted, he hasn't really fought that many grapplers in his MMA career recently. I mean, I know Grant Dawson, but I mean, we didn't even get to see Grant go for the takedown. But I do believe Bobby's going to be catching him a lot on the way in. And even if, here's the thing. I do think Paddy's going to get some takedowns. But even if he does get those takedowns, I truly believe he's not going to be able to do much with it. He's not going to go for ground and pound. He's going to try to get a finish for the English fans and get a rear naked choke, get an arm trunk, get a guillotine, whatever the case may be. And I don't think he's going to get close on those submissions, and I don't think he's going to land any ground and pound on Bobby Green. Hence, I think Bobby and the strikes that he's landing on the feet are going to outweigh whatever control time, which again, does not matter. Control time, it doesn't matter. Please stop saying, oh, this guy had more control time, therefore he should have won the fight. That's not how the judging criteria works. I don't think Paddy's going to do any effective ground and pound on the ground. Might attempt some submissions, but I don't think he's going to get close. And I do believe Bobby Green is going to outland him on the feet, possibly wobble him, possibly rock him, if he's able to do it to Grant Dawson. If he's able to do it to Ally Aquinta, he should be able to rock Paddy's freaking chin up in the air at some point in this fight as well. So I do believe Paddy will win one round. Sure, they'll give him a round. The other two, he's going to outstrike him on the feet, defend a lot of the takedowns, maybe get taken down, but not get actually damage, not really get close to getting finished or anything like that, leading me to have this as, a decently close fight, but a Bobby Green unanimous decision. It might be split. I know it's in England, so maybe I have to say the split decision, but I think Bobby Green retains that number 15 next to his name. I know Rafael dos Anjos is moving up to welterweight permanently, so maybe Bobby moves up to number 14. I don't know, but I do have him beating Paddy by unanimous decision. Muhammad Mokaev and Manel Kape in the UFC flyweight division. Now, I want to look up the betting odds for this fight, not because I'm going to use them to sway my prediction and be like, oh, Mokaev's the favorite, I got to go Mokaev to go ahead and win this fight against Manel Kape. I really just am curious to see where the odds makers have Muhammad Mokaev. They have this one as a 50-50 fight, barely leaning towards Manel Kape. And that is interesting. That is very, very interesting. And I think Kape should be a bigger favorite. He's the underdog on predictions. People actually going out there and saying who they think are going to win. Most are saying Muhammad Mokaev. But I really do believe Manel Kape should be at least a 2-1 favorite. I could be very delusional in what I'm saying here, but he's on a 4 fight win streak. I know he didn't look that good in the Felipe dos Santos fight. Felipe was able to land some good shots and win a round, but Manel Kape has good takedown defense. I don't care what anybody out there is saying. Let's go on to UFC stats. I don't think a lot of people are attempting takedowns on Manel Kape, but I really do believe Manel Kape has good takedown defense and will be able to keep this fight with Muhammad Mokaev on the feet. 77% takedown defense. His only times were being taken down were against David Dvorak and Mateusz Nicolau a very, very long time ago. He actually took down Alexandre Pantoja 2 times and defended all of Alexandre Pantoja's takedowns, which is very, very impressive. I don't think he'll be able to defend everything from Muhammad Mokaev, but I do believe he's going to defend most, if not all, and keep this fight on the feet. I did not like the last performance from Muhammad Mokaev. The Tim Elliott one was also pretty bad. I'm going to be honest, every one of Muhammad Mokaev's wins aren't really that definitive. The Malcolm Gordon one, I believe Malcolm actually won a round in that matchup, if I'm being honest, if my memory is serving me right now. Jafel Filio almost submitted Muhammad Mokaev and gave him some scares. Tim Elliott was actually up on 2 judges' scorecards, which is insane. And then Alex Perez, that was a really, really close fight. A lot of people think Alex Perez won because, well, he was defending a lot of those takedowns, keeping him in that position where he could have landed some grounded knees, and not letting Muhammad Mokaev really do anything effective. And Manel Kape, while he's not a wrestler, he's not a grappler, obviously he's a striker trying to go out there and get a knockout, he's got good takedown defense, and he's just far better in the striking than Muhammad Mokaev is. I know there's going to be a lot of Merab Dvalishvili takedown over and over and over and over and over again from Muhammad Mokaev. I just don't believe he's going to be able to get those and keep Manel Kape there. And I don't believe he's going to be able to get those and land really any ground and pound. He's not good at doing stuff once he's able to get the takedown, because his opponent's already back to their feet, already on the cage, already working back up and getting the fight back at range where they have the advantage. And I know it's 2 fights in a row, the Paddy fight and then this one, but I do think the grappler here isn't going to be able to do enough ground and pound to actually get the win. That's the main thing. Muhammad's he just doesn't land enough punches when he is on the ground. And Manel, I do believe, probably lands maybe 30-40% more strikes in Muhammad Mokaev in this fight. And I don't think he finishes him, though. I haven't really seen a moment where Muhammad Mokaev has been rocked and almost finished or anything like that. I could be wrong. He's 23-0 as an amateur, 11-0 as a pro. I could be wrong, but I've never seen him really get rocked or anything like that. So I am going to go Manel Kape to win this one. I believe he defends whatever comes at his way. He's able to get up from a lot of the takedowns and just outstrike Muhammad Mokaev too. Let's go split. I'm going to go split on this one. I said Bobby by unanimous, so I'll go split for Manel Kape. Arnold Allen and Giga Chikadze in the featherweight division. Giga is getting pretty old here, which is interesting. He lost to Calvin Kattar 2.5 years ago when he was on a really good streak of fights inside of the UFC, on a crazy win streak. Granted, a lot of decisions in a row: Brandon Davis, Jamal Emmers, Erwin Rivera, and Omar Morales. But then he went on a tear, beating Jamie Simmons by knockout, and then 2 veterans in Cub Swanson and Edson Barboza, both by a very, very good knockout. Cub caught him with that body kick, and then Edson, dude, he just landed punch after punch after punch until he fell, and he was able to get that finish. But in that Calvin Kattar fight, Calvin was actually putting a lot of pressure on him late. Giga looked good early. Giga was looking very, very good early, landing a lot of good shots and outstriking Calvin Kattar. But once the pressure did come from Calvin Kattar, Giga started to gas out. Giga started to wilt a little bit and even got taken down by Calvin Kattar in that fight. He beat Alex Caceres after that. Alex isn't a wrestler, so there is no threat there, and he's just a better kickboxer. Arnold is a better wrestler than Giga Chikadze, and probably a better wrestler and grappler than Calvin Kattar as well. And I really believe that's going to be the difference maker. I think the striking is going to be decided by like 1 or 2 different strikes. It's going to be that narrow of a margin that goes either way, one side. And then I think the thing that really is going to get him the win here, get Arnold Allen the win, is going to be the fact that he's going to mix in takedowns. He is going to mix in the takedowns. He always, in a few of his fights, he's always mixed in one takedown when his opponent comes in too hard on him. Obviously, not able to do that against Movsar Evloev. I think he's going to be able to against Giga, not only get the takedowns, but wear him in the clinch, which is why I don't think this is going to be fight of the night, personally, because I think Arnold's best path to victory here is round number 1, not letting Giga get off. Move away, catch him coming in with a shot, and then clinch up and really work on the gas tank and the muscle fatigue of Giga Chikadze in round number 1. Now, maybe you lose round number 1, but in round number 2, in round number 3, Giga's getting a lot older. He's getting a little bit slower. And in those later rounds, I think he's going to be even slower than that. Arnold has a great gas tank, and I believe he's going to be able to then not even need to rely on the wrestling and grappling and clinching and ground and pound and things like that. And I think he keeps it on the feet in round number 2, round number 3, to a 29-28 decision win. I think round 1's going to be a little bit boring. You never know. Maybe they start slugging it out. But I think if Arnold wants the best path to victory here, he's going to have to wear on that gas tank. And I think round 1 is going to be boring because of that. But round 2, round 3, they're not going to be boring. They're going to be fun. Those are going to be really, really fun. And Arnold has been known to kind of just start swinging sometimes, like he did with Max Holloway in round number 5. I think he does that a little bit with Giga. And I think he's got a better chin than Giga. I think he's going to crack him and knock down Giga at least once in this fight, making it a pretty good fight. But because of round number 1, probably not fight of the night. That might go to Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda, or maybe one of the other fights on the prelims. Christian Leroy Duncan, Robert Berksick, maybe. I don't know. But I do got Arnold Allen by a decision. Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blaydes rematch. Obviously, the first fight was the TKO win for Curtis Blaydes, able to get that knee injury. I believe it was like 20 seconds in, maybe a little bit less than that. Curtis is a little bit older, but again, like, it does not matter when you're talking about the heavyweight division, because we have 40-year-olds competing for belts in this weight class. Heights are pretty similar. Little reach advantage for Curtis, but nothing that's going to be too evident when they are fighting each other. Speed is going to go Tom Aspinall. Wrestling is going to go Curtis Blaydes. Grappling, jiu-jitsu-wise, I actually have 50-50. I have it as a coin toss. And then obviously everything to do with the striking, the kicks, the speed, the power is all going to go towards Tom Aspinall. I think Curtis really needs to rely on trying to gas out Tom Aspinall. I know if you probably interview Tom, he's going to be like, I'm ready for 5 rounds. I don't know how he talks. I have a horrible accent for Tom Aspinall, but I guarantee if you ask Tom Aspinall how he would do if this fight did hit round number 4, round number 5, he's going to say, I'm ready for round number 4. I'm ready for the championship rounds, even though he's not been to a round number 3 his entire MMA career. His entire, like, win, lose, draw, no matter what, all of them are finishes or, well, disqualifications and no decisions right there. So I do believe that if Curtis wants to win this fight, and I have to be late, he's going to have to weather that early onslaught of power and volume and speed of Tom Aspinall on the feet, get the fight to the clinch, slow the fight down a little bit in those clinch situations. Every single round 1, round 2, round 3. And then in those later rounds, he's going to really have to pour on that pressure towards Tom. Keep that chin tucked. Keep the arms right next to your face so you're not getting caught by Tom Aspinall. And he needs to get inside, get it to the clinch again, and just work. Just grind. That is the way to win if you're fighting Tom Aspinall. Obviously, if you're a power puncher like Pavlovich, the best way for Pavlovich to win is try to knock out Tom. For Curtis, don't try to knock out Tom. You're going to get slept. You're going to get outspeeded by Tom, and you're going to get knocked out, which is going to be my prediction. But I'm just saying, if Curtis wants to win, I do believe it's going to have to be later on in round 3, round 4, and round number 5. I don't see it going there. I do believe Curtis is going to try to get those clinch positions, try to work the gas tank of Tom. I think Tom is going to work on getting those underhooks and getting out of the clinch, getting Curtis's back to the cage, kind of stepping to the inside and catching him on his way out with some speed, with some power. And I do have Tom Aspinall. Round number 2, TKO. Leon Edwards and Belal Muhammad rematch. Obviously, you remember the first one. Pretty boring. Leon was able to outstrike him for the most part on the feet, and was en route to either a TKO late or a unanimous decision pretty fairly. But obviously Leon stuck those fingers out right into the eye, and, you know, Belal was looking pretty messed up after that one. Belal is a lot older, but he's not really showing his age. He's looking physique-wise a lot better than he has, you know, earlier in his career, which is a little suspicious. I'll just leave it right there. But he's on a great win streak. Obviously, we have the Sean Brady knockout, which nobody thought he was going to go out there and knock out Sean Brady. But other than that, we already know the nicknames for Belal. Decision. Remember the decision, Muhammad, and all of that. Beat Damian Maia, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Vicente Luque, as well as Gilbert Burns. Now, the Gilbert Burns one was interesting because Gilbert was injured. I don't think going in, I think he like broke something around number 1 or round number 2. And he still wasn't able to finish Gilbert, which is kind of crazy. Was able to finish Sean, but Sean's not Leon. I'll say that right now. Leon should be able to not get knocked out by Belal. I know. Very obvious statement I'm saying there, but he's also a decision merchant. If you look at his career, his only knockout in the past, like, 7, 6, 5 years, whatever, is the Kamaru Usman one, and then way back when against Peter Sabata. So I don't believe either man is going to get the finish, unfortunately. And I do think Leon is going to have the better striking. Another obvious statement, Belal's not a good striker. He's kind of just pressuring you to set up the takedowns, which is what a lot of wrestlers do, but he doesn't really have it if he's not able to get those takedowns and not able to use those takedowns to set up the striking. His striking really is not good at all. He's going to get kicked at range, jabbed at range, 1-2 at range, and Leon's just going to keep moving. So I think Belal might land a takedown in round 1. I think Leon's going to pop right back up. Might land another one. Leon's going to pop right back up. And then Belal's going to stop going for takedowns. I know that's a weird thing to say. Belal's going to stop going for takedowns. I think eventually he's going to get really discouraged with Leon just underhooking right at the cage and pushing him off over and over and over again in a 5-round fight. And I think Leon is just going to be able to defend those, circle back to the center of the octagon, and just keep using movement. Keep using movement, keep body kicking, moving, body kicking, jab, moving, head kick, boom. I know, I just pretty much said the Kamaru Usman result, but that's kind of how I see this one going, except for the knockout, of course. I think Leon is just going to keep tapping him. I don't think there's going to be a moment where, oh, he rocks Belal Muhammad or anything like that. Here's one thing. I am saying Leon by decision. I'm saying he's going to outstrike him, stay at range, jab him, 1-2, body kick, all that. I think there's going to be a moment kind of like the Kamaru Usman fight that he does it again, where I'm going to be like, because I'm probably going to bet Leon by decision, where I might be like gritting my teeth a little bit for the result. I think he's going to do the same thing he did to Kamaru, where Belal goes in for the takedown and Leon's able to find a way to shimmy his way to the back of Belal Muhammad and try to search for a rear naked choke. I don't think he's going to get it. Belal is training with guys like Islam and Khabib and all of them, who they'll call him a disgrace if he gets submitted by a rear naked choke. That's their move. But I do believe Leon is going to attempt it. He had the adrenaline rush. He had the high of their first fight. Get in the back, taking down Kamaru Usman and almost, not really almost, but cinching in a submission. He was trying to. I think he's going to try to do that again against Belal, and that might be the only moment where Belal is able to reverse that position, stay on top, land a little bit of ground and pound. Aside from that, I don't see much control. I don't see much ground and pound or anything from Belal Muhammad in this fight. I see it as a mainly striking battle where Belal is just trying to get on the inside, pressuring forward, and just walking in, boom, walking into jab after jab after jab, eating body kicks, maybe getting head kicked at least once or twice in this fight, but nothing too damaging. Again, Leon, you might be saying, oh, he finished Kamaru Usman. That's about it for 6 years. So I see this fight going all the way. I'm hoping, I'm praying for a Leon knockout. I'm praying Belal's able to get in the inside and left hook right to the chin of Leon and get a knockout. I mean, that would blow everybody in the arena's minds at 5 o'clock in the morning. But you never know. I hope that happens. It's probably not. Leon Edwards by unanimous decision. That is the full card prediction. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Not in who I'm predicting to win, but in how I'm predicting to win. I got Leon by decision. Praying to God there's a finish there. I got Arnold Allen by decision. Again, it's going to be a good striking battle in round number 2, round number 3. I'm praying one of them is able to go out there and clip the other. Be awesome. Manel Kape by decision. I'm hoping Muhammad just fails so many takedowns and just gets caught with a knee coming in on one of those takedowns and gets knocked out. Would be awesome. And then I'm also hoping, dude, that'd be crazy. That would be awesome. If Bobby Green's able to knock out Paddy Pimblett in front of the UK fans, it would be awesome. But the only finish I really have on that main card is going to be Aspinall, round number 2 TKO. Again, I'm hoping for more, but we'll see. Should be a good card. Even these decisions, I do expect to be fairly fun fights. Predictions down below. We'll see you in the next one.